Hello students, after a great response on our open session on UPSC application form filling, we have come up with another informative video regarding OBC reservation. So after the session, there were tons of questions regarding whether you are eligible as a OBC candidate or you're not eligible as a OBC candidate. So today we will try to understand. I will tell you in detail so that after this video you yourself can know that whether you are OBC candidate or not. Now when we're talking about OBC reservation, there are two things which you should remember. One is creamy layer and other is non-creamy layer. Creamy layer by default is not eligible for OBC reservation. So now who are these people? Creamy layer are the students whose parents, they are directly recruited to Group A, Group B job, constitutional post, MP, MLAs and armed forces. If your parents, even one parent or both the parents, they have been recruited in these posts, directly recruited, Group A, Group B, constitutional, MP, MLA, you are by default not eligible for OBC reservation. This you should keep in mind. Right? So this is a very simple thing. Now next is non-creamy layer. Non-creamy layer are the people who are eligible for OBC reservation. So kind of you can see that these people, if you are in the creamy layer, you will apply as a general category student. Right? So your caste might be backward, but social status wise you are in a creamy layer. You are much more advanced social status wise. That is why you are not being given the reservation and you will be considered as a general category. Now comes with respect to non-creamy layer, one thing you should remember, your non-creamy layer OBC status depends upon your parent status, not on your status. So you might be earning, you might be self-employed, you might be salaried, you might be earning 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees, it doesn't matter. It is based on your parent status. Indra Sahni case, it's a very landmark judgment with respect to it, which clearly states that we will be deciding the status based on parent status, because parent status was not good. They were not able to provide you better environment, better education, and for the empowerment of such students, we will be giving OBC reservation. So just forget about how much you are earning, right? Base your OBC reservation eligibility only and only on the basis of your parents, right? So now moving forward, when we are talking about non-creamy layer, we need to see your status on basis of your parents, like I told you. Now to see that status, government takes this income under 3 heads. Income from salary, income from other sources, income from agriculture. Right? So before I explain all these things, one thing you should remember is you should be ready with last 3 years income tax return. If you have still not submitted them in the application form where you have to fill the salaries under this income under these 3 headings, there is a column is there of undertaking where you can provide the ITRs even after your mains examination, but it doesn't exempt you. So at the time of interview, at the time of mains, please be ready with the income tax return. Now second question is, some students say our parents have not filed ITRs in the last 3 years, what to do? So please consult a CA. Backdated ITRs with certain penalties can be again filed, but there is no two-way about it that ITR forms is very essential. Form number 16 is required to prove your income from salary, because otherwise how will you tell that this is my income from salary or other sources, right? There has to be some government document. Tomorrow some student will come and say that, okay, this is the salary of my parent, this is from other sources. That doesn't work, right? So you need certain document. That document will come from an income tax return. Now next is income from salary. Now here things become little interesting. When you're talking about income from salary, there are 2 parts which you have to consider while deciding your eligibility. Either your parents will be government employees or your parents will be in some public sector undertaking, bank, school, university, private institutions, right? So, okay, so these are the basic things. So, government employees includes both state and center employees, right? Now, please listen this carefully. For group C and D employees, people, if your father, mother got directly recruited, direct recruitment, when he started his job to group C job, say clerical job, administrative jobs are usually group C job, or group D job like peon, sweeper, etc. Now, here your salary doesn't matter. Please keep this in mind. If your parents were directly recruited at group C or D, your income from salary is not counted, right? And another thing you should keep in mind is, when we are talking about group C and D, that you know, but if your father was promoted, say he was in group C job, he got promoted to group B, right? Now the question is, my father got recruited at group C, but now he is group B. What is the rule of the government? Rule is that if you were promoted to group B job after 40 years, then still you are non-creamy layer OBC candidate. Right? So right now, even because when we did creamy layer, group B employees, they were creamy layer, but they were direct recruited group B employees. Now here it is promoted employees. So if the promotion of your father and mother happened after he was 40 years of age, he got into group B, again salary doesn't matter. Why salary is not mattering? Because it's about status of a group C employee, a clerk, administrative staff, or group D job. The status is low, right? It's not like a group A job that your status is high, or you're not an MP, MLA, and that is why your reservation is being given and your salary doesn't matter here, right? So this thing you should know. It is both for center and your state employees. Now, there are another set of employees also, PSU, bank, etc. Now, in these organizations, they will have their own categorization, group A, group B, group C, right? So, you need to have a equivalence certificate to prove that your father or mother is in group C job and group D job, or they were promoted to group B after 40 years of age, right? So equivalence certificate telling that sometimes private institutions, they do not come under government, so every private institution will have their own classification, but you will need a proper government document telling that this post, if your father is working in a bank, for example, that this post of, say, a PO is equal to group C or whatever is there, right? I don't know the specific details in these institutions. So you need to have an equivalence certificate if your parents are working some in these institutions. If they are in center and state, then you will directly know it is group C or group D. So these things you should keep in mind. Basic conclusion is, income from salary. Your salary doesn't matter if the direct recruitment is group C, group D, or after 40 years you got promoted to group B job. These things you should keep in mind. Now, in case question arises, I don't have a equivalence certificate, right? Then if you don't have a equivalence certificate, then 8 lakh income comes into being. If you cannot produce an equivalence certificate, they will count the salary of your parents. It should not be more than 8 lakhs combined, right? Say your father is earning 5 lakh rupees and your mother, say, is earning 2 lakhs rupees per annum, right? So you are within the 8 lakh limit, so you will qualify as a non-creamy layer even if you don't have an equivalence certificate. So equivalence certificate is very important if you want to get exempted from income from your salary to be not counted, right? So this is one thing you should remember. Then income from other sources. Now, income from other sources is like income from your rent, right? From miscellaneous, from pension sometime, right? You have rented some apartment, you have rented some showroom or something. So, other sources other than the salary which you are getting. Now, here it should be less than 8 lakh rupees, right? Then comes the income from agriculture. Now, income from agriculture is not included again, right? Provided your land should be under the ceiling, Land Ceiling Act, according to your state, that should be under that particular thing. So, these three things are very important, and this will be determined by the income tax returns for 3 years. 3 consecutive years. So when I'm saying, say for example, you have to see the income from other sources, they are less than 8 lakh rupees. So last 3 years you will see, even if in 1 year the income is less than 8 lakh rupees, right? It is 7, and others say it is for first, for the the most current year it is 9 lakh rupees. Then it is 10 lakh rupees, and then the last year it was say 6 lakh rupees. So consecutively it is not 8 lakh per annum. 1 year had a less income, then you will be eligible, right? So any 1 year is also okay. It's not that all the 3 years should have less income than 8 lakh rupees. Even if it is 1, even if it is 2 years, which has income from other sources less than 8 lakh rupees, or your parents are in these institutions and they do not have an equivalent certificate, for them also 8 lakh will be seen, right? So these things you have to keep in mind when you are trying to see that are you eligible or not, right? Because there's a lot of confusion regarding this. I have tried to clear it up in one-to-one sessions also, on Telegram also, on messages also, but again there is certain confusion, so I thought let's make a small video on this so that you are more clear about it. This is also for the students who are looking to apply next year also, right? Because UPSC this year, you have seen very less time was given for your application form. The last date was very quick. So even if you're giving for the next year, you should be ready with all these particular things. If your parents are not filing income tax return, please ask them to file at least this year. Plus, you should be having your OBC certificate. Now, OBC certificate comes in this format. It has to be uploaded on the UPSC application form website, wherever the space is given for the uploading. Because your state gives your OBC reservation or OBC caste certificate in a different format, right? UPSC wants every student should be giving in a similar format, because every state will come up with different formats, right? So they have given the wording in which your OBC certificate should be. So if you go to the office, whatever, like Tehsildar's office in your parental village or something, and ask them that okay, I need in this format, they will give. There is no such problem that they will deny it. Just tell them it is needed for UPSC examination, so they will give it to you. So first, obviously, they will give the certificate in the state format, and on the basis of that particular certificate, they will give this format which UPSC requires. So there, one thing I have told many times, but still the same question comes, can I put a state? No, you cannot put a state certificate. Format has to be this, right? Now this particular format, you can see that okay, this is to certify this person, daughter of this, belongs to this particular village, state, and belongs to the community. You have to write your community. Then is recognized as backward class. So there are lot of laws being given. The next whole page is also, you don't need to write all the laws, because if you see at the end, it is written that please delete the words which are not applicable, and at the rate, wherever there is at the rate sign, strike out whichever is not applicable. So if you see all these laws in front of them, they have at the rate. So whatever is applicable for you, for your state, whatever law your state has adopted, you put it, you write it down, and rest you can cut. You don't need to fill all the laws. There are so many, one whole page is full of it. You don't need to include that in your certificate. And then last page will be where you will give a declaration that I do not belong to the creamy layer, because you need to here tell that okay, I am not a creamy layer, I am a non-creamy layer person. Then here signature, and then the person who is giving you the certificate should not be below the position of a tehsildar, right? So tehsildar and above authorities are the competent authorities to issue you the OBC certificate format, right? And this status of your OBC or even for any other reservation comes from your father, right? Because there was a student who was asking, my father belongs to general category, mother belongs to your scheduled caste category or OBC category, but that person will not be eligible. So your father's status, you know, until unless they are separated or something, that's a different issue, different discussion. But on the basis of your father's caste credential, you will get this caste certificate from your parental village. You can go from the land records, they will check, Tehsildar will issue that caste certificate. I think that procedure you will be knowing. You might have given it in your graduation or 11th or 12th. If you are very new to the, you know, filing it for the first time, then, you know, this video or how to go about to Tehsildar, you can go approach the office, get a certificate issued, and then you can convert it into the UPSC format. Right? So this was all about OBC reservation. This is all about telling you so that you can find out that are you eligible, are you not eligible for this OBC reservation. Still, if you have any doubt, please reach out in the comment section. Our team will reach out to you. Thank you so much.